Look, and as we spoke about, how do people actually know if they've got lymphedema?
Often the first thing that people will notice is a feeling of a general heaviness or aching in their affected limb. So it might be their arm or their leg, depending on where they've had their surgery. That's often the first thing that people will present with. Even before they notice a change in their swelling or circumference. So that's often how our clients will present. They'll go back to their surgeon and the surgeon will notice, or they'll describe to the surgeon that they're feeling these things, and then the surgeon will often then refer them to us.
So it is something that's generally after surgery that occurs?
There's two different types of lymphedema. A primary lymphedema where people can actually be born with it, and that's quite different.
Okay.
So we're talking about secondary lymphedema, which occurs after an injury or something has occurred where the lymphatic system has been put under pressure and fluid is building up in our tissue spaces more quickly than what it can be carried away.
Right.
So, but we have technology now that will pick up changes even earlier than a circumferential measurement will, and really we know that that's going to give us our best outcome. So the earlier that we see people with lymphedema, the better it is, and we can actually even reverse those early changes, which is great nowadays.
So for someone who's, say, had a surgery,
Yeah.
the chances are their lymphatic system has been under stress, so
Yes.
it's a useful thing?
Absolutely. If we see someone, for example, they might have come in for cording, which we've mentioned about already, they're not having any swelling in their limb, we would always do this test because it gives us information about what we call their baseline reading, so that if in the future they come with aching or they notice a bit of swelling, we can compare a reading to their original reading and see how they've progressed. It's also a good tool for us to see how effective our treatment is.
Oh, great. Absolutely.
Because it will show us the swellings coming down.
Fantastic. So what?
So this is called bioimpedance spectroscopy. It's basically a little machine. It's Australian technology, which is really exciting. And it's a little current that you can't actually feel passing through the tissue spaces around the cells, and it becomes a measure of how much fluid there is in an area. So it takes a quick reading of one arm and then the other arm, or one leg and the other leg, and then it converts it into a score, and so we know where the general population who don't have lymphedema sit, and then we can see where your particular score is. So it's very quick, you don't feel anything, and it's quite safe to do. So we're going to just do it now. We've got 2 electrodes on each hand and one on your foot, and we're just going to measure your right arm now. So you can see it's really, really quick. You're not feeling anything. And that's one arm done.
And that's the important thing too, isn't it? Sometimes when you're wired up to things, people think, what's it going to feel like?
Absolutely. It can be quite stressful, not knowing what people are, what you're going to experience. So, we always explain to the patients what's about to happen before it happens. So that's your right arm done, and now we're measuring your left arm. And it's as quick as that, and it's already worked out your score, which you'll be pleased to know is in a good range. It gives us really good information about what's happening. So it's more accurate than a tape measure
test
is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and that's all part of it, isn't it? Just so, like in terms of managing yourself, having that little bit of a check of going, yes, I'm on track with the things that I'm doing.
Yes, and it's a really good way for people to have confidence in, for example, when they're staying. Just relax. When they're for example, if they've gone back to exercise and they're a bit concerned about what their swelling may or may not do, we can assure them that everything's good with this sort of technology. So it's feedback. It's feedback for people.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for that. And that didn't hurt too much.
I think she was sitting up to prove to us that she's still conscious.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Sharon.
That's my pleasure.
Okay.